Hey Python lovers, it's me Prince, back again with another tutorial. This tutorial is all about the same thing which I have inserted in YouTube a while back, and with this video I would like to give you a quite comprehensive kind of thing so you can better understand what's going on behind the scenes. Alright, so well, as you can guess what's going to be. For a quick glimpse, I would like you to demonstrate how this software or this piece of function is going to reply me back on the Treeview. Well, initially I'm gonna type the name of this Nazarilium Madhav, which is in the 7th, and if I click there and insert it into the entry box, initially it's gonna go through all of the single letters, then after it's gonna filter out my dictionary, and then it's gonna point out or print out the names based on the ascending order of the letter you insert in there. Okay, so let's dive into our tutorial. Then of course I'm gonna use some Treeview. So the Treeview doesn't come with the package of one Tkinter import TTK widget, so I guess that should do the trick. Now I should create an individual main window to run our application. Let's say window, and the following command is gonna operate and initialize a window. So, and I'm going to keep that in a root. That's not JavaScript, it's Python. So let's say the geometry would be 600 times 600, and the remaining would be the portion, like the position where my window is going to be initial. So for this tutorial I'm not going to use that one. I'm just going to show how the Treeview works exactly. So let's play this in a loop dot main loop. Let's run this. Well, obviously it's working. So the main window is running away, and I'm going to put some frame in it. The main frame, the bottom frame, and the Treeview frame, so that I can better design my Treeview, so I can have better control over it. Okay, so let's create frames, 3 frames initially. I won't be needing a back frame, but I just needed 2 frames. Let's comment that out and make a frame called entry frame. So I'm going to put it in the top frame. That would be frame, so it's going to be on the root, and I want the color to be, let's say, white. It should be definitely on the string. So I'm going to place this. I'm not going to use back. Well, obviously you can use back in it, but for some reason I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use top frame dot place x equals, because this gives a little bit more of the control over the widget. So where do you want to put that widget in the root? So let's say y would be 5, and I just want that width to be like the main window is about 600 width, and I want that to be just 200, and the height would just be like 80 pixels, I guess. Alright, so let's run this one and let's see if I placed my frame in the right order or not. Alright, so you can see there is a frame, and below that I want another, we call that a body frame. So this is typically, I would say, a tree frame. makes much sense. So let's say 3 frame. I guess I should copy the same thing above. Alright, so this is doing great. So instead of doing top frame, I'm gonna get 3 frame. Alright, so over here I just want that. So this height is 80, so I want to make this 100. So there should be a little bit of gapping over there going on. No, I'm sorry about that one. It should be 5, and the height, the position should be on the 100. So they are directly proportional, I guess. And the white should be, let's just keep it green. So if I run this one and see that there would be a green frame, so I'm going to expand this to the size of the window. So let's do it in a bit. Let's say it's going to be 600. Let's just say 550. And the height. And the height would be 600. Or let's say 5. It's a square, I guess. Alright, so till then we are done. So we are about to place some input fields and some labels over there. So let's quickly put some label on the entry frame. So let's say LB1, and the text should be, let's say, search by, and I'm going to set the background. Let's say foreground would be, normally it's going to be default black, but I'm going to place it anyway. So the background would be white, just for the effect. So it's going to blend in. LB1 dot on the top frame, you can see that, and I'm going to have my entry. So yeah, my entry would be entry, it should be on the top frame as usual. I'm not going to use some text over there, and my entry that row would be 0, and column would be 1. COLUMN. So column would be 1 and the row would be 0. Alright, so it's going to be in the same format, so I should do it 0 over there, and let's check it out till now. Alright, so you can see that there is something going on. So to see better understand, so let's give this color of blue. I guess you can understand it in this way. Alright, so you can see that it's differentiating, so it's there are the other widgets over there. So I'm going to place a Treeview here. So never mind the designing things, because I haven't added any designing yet. I'm just going to add some Treeview on the tree frame. Okay, so entering is equal to ttk dot Treeview, and I'm going to place this. The first thing it asks for me is like, where do you want to place it? So I'm going to say tree frame, and let's just say okay, just for now I'm just not going to put any kind of anything in here. I'm just going to see that if my Treeview is working or not. So let's use back and use fill both, so that the whole Treeview can collide with each other frames. So if I so there is a Treeview. So there are only half the portion is in the Treeview, but the rest of that it's green frame. So I can do a little bit of things in here. Let's say height. Let's place it to 100, so that my Treeview can have the whole frame. Alright, so I'm going to start have a column of this one. So I should put this one on the above. So delete this one, and it's going to ask me for a parameter. An argument would be that would be column, and would be equal to this particular list over there, CULUMN. Okay, then after, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to insert this column as a header in my tree. So I can do that dynamically, or I can do that by individually. For each, I'm gonna grab each and every individual things in that column and place that into each variable. So I'm gonna do my tree dot column. So okay, column, and the first thing will be the ID of that heading. So I'm gonna place that to be I, and the column width, I'm sorry over there, it should be each, and the width equals to, I'm just gonna place it to the 80, so that's gonna be Y of my column. And the second thing is the dot heading, and let's put it to each, and the text would be each dot capitalized. So let's see how far did my program. Alright, so this is it, the result, since this is the part of the heading. So I'm going to remove this one. We're just saying I just want my tree to show headings only. Headings. Alright, so if I run this one, the video is already, so I can see that there is no longer the empty column over there, so it's just clear. So okay, so now I'm gonna add some dummy data into my Treeview. Hashtag inserting data to Treeview. So I'm gonna grab each of the data inside of it. So let's say for each in data. For each in data, I'm gonna insert it to my tree. So my tree dot insert. So the first thing would be the parent. I'm not using hierarchy Treeview, so I'm not gonna add anything inside of it. And in the index would be end. So I'm gonna add it into the last of the column, last of the row, I would say, and the value, the per from values would be each. Alright, I guess we should do the trick. I'm just reinserting it out. Alright, so here you can see that there are data in my Treeview. So now what I'm gonna do is, like, if I type any name including from this particular rows, I should be getting that name in front of it, so it should be dynamic. Alright, so I'm going to create a string variable so that we can get the value whenever it changes. Alright, so in Tkinter we have a string variable method, so we can dynamically run a function whenever a text is being input by the user. Underscore ent underscore var. So it's going to be string var. So I'm going to link this string variable to this particular entry. let's say text variable would be search underscore ent underscore var. So whenever this text get anything as an input from the user, it's going to directly register that thing, that particular in the binary format into this search ent variable, and then we can trigger that one. So I'm going to trigger whenever there is a change in this variable. I want it to run a simple function, so that would be search variable.trace. On the trace one, I would say w, pass in the few parameters. So I'm going to create a function filter name, filter Treeview. Alright, so this is a function which haven't been created, so I'm going to create that one in here. Alright, let's say pass, and so I'm going to grab this data and I'm going to modify into, and I'm going to run the loop inside of it. So I'm going to only trace this particular column every single time whenever this function is being called. So I hope you can understand that one. So whenever I press N, it should run all over the loop and it should find the N. So if there is N and there is N, so it should be making a list of itself own. Alright, so let's just say, first of all, whenever that runs, I'm going to clear all of my items. Let's just say items on Treeview will be equal to my tree dot get children. So it's going to gather me all of the data that are currently in my Treeview, all the children's. So let's say, let's put that variable in here. No, I'm sorry, it should be search will be equal to search underscore entvar dot, I'm going to get that, and then I'm going to capitalize each and every single word of it. So I am now going to run a loop for each item in items on Treeview. So whatever my Treeview has a data in it, so I'm going to run them in a loop and pass them into each item variable. So let's just say if search, that is in here, if I put something in that entry, if search in my tree dot item, and I pass each item over there and the values of, like, let's just say, it's gonna pass me a dictionary, by the way, the values. Then after, you can just try yourself what's gonna get out from that one by using print statement. And then after, I'm gonna say, I just don't want that to that one. I just want to say search underscore var will be equal to my tree dot item, and just say each item dot, it's a dictionary, so I'm still gonna get values, and my tree dot delete each item. Alright, so I guess this should do the trick, and it's going to delete the item. Then I also need to insert it back again. So my tree dot insert on the nothing in the parent one, and I would want that to be in the 0 format, because now we are not going to add that into the end of the line, but we are going to insert it into the first line. So values would be search underscore var. Alright, so I guess this should do the trick, and we have already linked that function to our search in the entry variable. Alright, so let's have a look. I guess it should work. Okay, everything is doing great. It functions running good and perfect. So I'm going to pass in some Razabul Ansari in here. Since I'm getting an error, so filter Treeview takes 0 positional argument but 3 were given. Alright, so the thing it's not working is that I haven't passed any arguments, since it doesn't take any arguments but we are passing it forcefully. So it doesn't have any memory allocations to store that arguments. So I'm going to pass in some random, so it's going to accept all of the arguments sent whenever it's being called inside of the trace method. Alright, so if that's good, then we should be pretty much good to go. Alright, so I have done that one. So let's say voila, I am doing great. So the thing is, it's going to come on the top one, because since we have already passed in the 0 format, so it's going to be in the topmost position. Since it's just going to put up on the upper hand, and it's not going to be lag enough because I'm not deleting or reinserting that same particular row. I'm just taking the same row from the tree view and just going to moving that position up and down, and hence it is more fast and more efficient way to do it, and it's not gonna get more, it's not gonna eat more resources from the PC or the main CPU. Alright, so let's check another one. Let's say Samuel. Alright, so I can see that there is a Samuel coming up, and more options that if you want to do that, you have more ideas in here, because you can put entry box in front of it in the top of the passport, and you can type searching it and it will be dynamically update your tree view. And with this being said, I hope that you understood how this thing works, and it's a very efficient way. And if you have any questions, comment down in the comment section and I will be very happy to reply back to you. Alright then, that's it. I'm gonna see you soon.